Well, first, thanks everybody for coming out today to the show. Unboxing Combo. My name is KJ Foster.
I'm Marc Hitman Brown.
Marc Big Champ McDonald.
And we have a special guest today. Go ahead.
How you doing? It's Montell, Griffin, Chicago's on. What's going on?
Right.
Man.
All right. This is going to be a special edition. We'll get a chance to talk to the former champ here and ask him a bunch of questions because I got a bunch of them. Go ahead, Marc.
So, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm appreciative and I feel good about being here.
Man, I'm very honored. You know, I'm very honored. You know what I'm saying? You know, to come. You know, it's like
I didn't know who you was and I ain't know what was happening, so I ain't know what was gonna happen when I got here. I didn't know if y'all was gonna kill me or not. So I left everybody the address. I said if I don't call back by 10:45, send everybody.
oh man, it's all good, man. Nah, it's all good.
I'm just silly.
We're gonna put a stop in the pause on this because that's 15 minutes. Okay, we'll make sure we don't get in trouble. Go ahead. you said you called at about 10:45.
Oh no, we good.
Right. All right.
Montell, I just want to say, man, it's a pleasure to meet you. I checked up on you, man, and hey, you got a really, really great record, man. I appreciate that amateur career, man, because the questions I have to ask is about the amateur career, man, going to them Olympics, man. Got to be amazing.
Like, I don't call it excuses. I don't call it complaining. I'm finna tell y'all the truth. And everything you tell me, I'm gonna tell you the exact truth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of BS in my life.
Yeah.
Been through a lot. I mean, no matter what, people can look at me and what I did, whatever. Man, I've been through a lot of bullshit. I done had a lot of bad breaks, but all right, let's keep going with the interview. I just want to put that in there.
Yeah, okay, and we can understand that, man, because I'm pretty sure we all have at some points in our lives. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, I mean, life ain't fair.
No,
It just
it's
ain't
not fair at all. Right.
You know, but I just wanted to know what inspired you. Well, I know your dad, you know, knew Muhammad Ali and everything. He owned Windy City Jail. You know, you started boxing as a youngster, like what, 5 years old or whatever?
He bought the gym in 73. So he bought the gym in 73, but I think as soon as I could walk, so like one years old, I was in the gym. Because he was taking my brother to the gym to learn self-defense before my father even bought it. So we was at the gym, like, I know they said when they moved to 101st that I could walk up the stairs. I was at the gym. So you could say at 1 year old, I was in a boxing gym.
Right.
I just thought, you know what I'm
Hitting
saying?
that bag.
I just thought it was just normal life.
Like, you know, he put the boxing gloves, you know what I'm saying, in your career. In other words, he put the gloves in the crib, right? Boxing gloves in the crib, right?
He took my brother, Tim at the time, changed his name to Amasa. He took my brother to the gym to learn self-defense. And he fell in love with the game and ended up buying the gym.
Right.
So I don't know. I know he never fought before or nothing, but it was just, I mean, the way everything just came put together, it was just meant to be.
Right.
Yeah.
This man never boxed a day in his life.
Okay.
He took his oldest son to the gym to learn self-defense. His youngest son, 10 years younger, followed him around everywhere he went. You know what I'm saying? I think my father kind of, you know, burnt my brother out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He burned him out. And I think he learned off of how he treated my brother on how to treat me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just, like I said, it was just meant to be. He got in the game. My brother learned self-defense. I was in the gym, 5 years old. My father had 9mm, projection screen.
Yeah.
We watched all the fights and everything. I watched Ray Robinson, Joe Louis. Like Joe Louis is my favorite, my father's favorite fighter.
Okay,
but I just didn't ever. I respect Joe Louis, but when I watch him, it never did nothing for me.
But Sugar Ray Robinson.
Well, okay, y'all might get mad. I like Sugar Ray Robinson. I watched Sugar Ray as a kid.
Yeah.
Beautiful puncher, combinations.
Yes.
He wasn't the greatest defensive guy. I seen him get hit a lot. You know what I'm saying? His style was just so his chin was in there. He would throw shots, but he was just so dangerous. He could get guys out of there. I respected that, but I saw Jersey Joe Walcott. I love that the shifting, the shoulder roll and all that.
Yeah.
Willie Pep. I watched Willie Pep. I like the defense and everything. I heard about him. All the guys I watched, the guys who had defense, it just stood out to me. I don't know why. That turned me on. The moving, the bobbing and weaving, and one day he put the video on. It was Muhammad Ali. And I'm looking at a handsome man.
Yes.
I'm 5 years old. I'm looking at a hand. I could look at him, man. This guy he don't look like normal people. He look a little bit different.
Right.
He look better than He look better than normal people. You know what I'm saying? He got a mouthpiece. He got a personality.
Very charismatic.
He got it all, man.
Yes.
The smile, the everything, and man. When I saw that, I wanted to be a boxer. I knew I wanted to be a boxer when I saw that.
That did it.
That was it. That's all I needed to see. So
Wow.
I'm going to say maybe 2-3 weeks go by, and my pop said, get ready. I said, for what? He said, man, remember that guy I showed you? I said, yeah. He said, we're going to go see him. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, okay, all right. But I got in the car. We drove there. Ali had a gym on 47th Street. It was really a garage where he kept his cars, but he had a ring in it.
Yeah.
And we walked in, and I walked in the office, and I look up, and I see a line of people. So I'm looking at the end of the line, and my head turned this way to the front line. I see Muhammad Ali. And I said, man, that's that guy. That's the guy I saw.
That's that good-looking dude.
That's him. And people was in line. He was passing out money. He'd pass out money one by one, pass out money. He looked at me, said, come here. And he picked me up in his lap, and he kissed me, and he turned, looked at my father. My father took the picture. That's the first picture, like I got that, right? That's my
your profile on your Facebook.
That's my Facebook profile. That's the first time I ever met him in 1975.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it just changed my life.
Wow.
That day was the beginning of the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying?
But let me ask you this, Montell. I mean, by Muhammad Ali being your idol like that, in my opinion, your style is kind of more like Joe Frazier, though, because you hook. I mean, your hook. That hook is devastating.
Eddie Futch would always say, "I don't know why you like Muhammad Ali because you built like Joe Frazier." But I didn't fight. Of course, I didn't fight like Joe Frazier. I was a boxer. I'm only 5'7".
True.
So I can't band dance, and I wanted to do that. But, you know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, I told my father I was going to be heavyweight champion of the world. And he said, well, you could be champ, but you won't be heavyweight champ. But he never explained to me why.
Right.
And it always bothered me. I'm like, why are you saying I ain't going to be heavyweight champ? Until I got older and I was 5'7". I said, I understand. Now I know what he's talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, if I was 6 feet tall, I'd be heavyweight champion of the world. I'd be one of the greatest fighters in history.
No doubt.
Man, I sparred 5 heavyweight champs.
Right.
I held my own with all of them. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know what I'm saying, 5. I try to do the best I could do with what I was dealt with.
Wow, well, still alive.
In my opinion, you're a Hall of Famer because you know what I'm saying your record, you know what I'm saying, speaks for itself.
I mean, it's like, man, I don't look at myself as an all-time great, but I think I have the reason. Like, I want everybody in boxing world to know the reason I feel I'm a Hall of Famer is I learned how to box as a kid. I quit at 12 years old.
Yeah.
8 years went by. I didn't do nothing. I smoked weed. You know what I'm saying? I made a post on Facebook the other day. I smoked weed and cocaine mixed together in 1990, and I made the Olympic team in 1992. Right. That was my life. I grew up as just a teenager.
Right.
Drank, throwing up, hanging out, having sex, smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? That's all I did for 8 years.
Yeah.
And I said, and I woke up one day, I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to start boxing.
But was you still in shape in that time?
No, I was 210 pounds. I was fat. I hadn't did my brother, one of my best friends, Reuben Jones, died in December '89.
Okay.
And I just went into depression for a year, and I lost my job. My car broke down. I was broke. I was just depressed. Just sitting in the house, 210, fat slob, doing nothing with my life. Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Wow. So I got to ask this question. So was it the money that made you want to get back into boxing, or was it the fact that you just enjoyed the sport?
No, you want to know the truth?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the honest truth.
Okay.
HBO was running these shows where they were showing like old fights, and they bring like Eddie Futch or like trainers and stuff.
Because Eddie Futch is a big dog.
Yeah. And I was watching them fights, and I started thinking about boxing, and I got a phone call from my nephew Terry. I hadn't talked to Terry in years.
Okay.
And Terry said, "Uncle, what you doing?" I said, "Man, nothing." He said, "Man, come to LA and start boxing." I said, "All right." He said, "No, I'm for real." I said, "Shit, I'm for real." I made up my mind just like that. I said, "Shit, I ain't doing shit in Chicago, but wasting my life." I was 20 years old, 210 pounds. I ain't have a car, I ain't have a job. I was broke as hell, living with my mother in the basement.
Damn.
And my nephew called me, man. And I said, I made up my mind. I said, you know what? I'm going to come. I said, let me see what I can do. And I had a Color Supreme where I blew. Me and my friend PT was going to Indianapolis to go trick off with some girls, and I blew my motor in my Supreme, in my Cutlass. Yeah. That was like the beginning of my fall. I had a job, I have a car, I'm rolling, and I'm going to Kokomo, and the car broke down, and that was the beginning of the fall, and as my friend Ron Lee. He lived right behind me, but I had been knowing him my whole life because he went to the Kingdom Hall. My mother's a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
Right.
My life was so crazy. I would go to Kingdom Hall with my mother and go to the boxing gym with my father. So my life was like
divided.
Man, it was just totally. I went from no violence, wearing a suit, you can't curse, to going to the boxing gym trying to knock a motherfucker out, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the life that's the shit I had to grow up with. So, you know what I'm saying? So, he's going to the gym, and that was just, man, that was his.
But let me ask you, I got to ask this too. Just to kind of fast forward the tape a little bit. Now, when you went to the Olympics, I'm talking about, because I'm assuming that you had to win the Gold Glove, then the Nationals, probably the tryouts, juniors, and then make it to the Olympics? Is that how it went with you?
I had 30 fights.
As an amateur before this time? Before the Olympics?
No. Right. To make the Olympic team, I fought 30 times. I quit boxing for 8 years.
Yeah.
I moved to LA in December 1990. I fought in the U.S. Championships in January 1990.
Okay.
I hadn't fought for 8 years, and I fought in the tournament. I trained for 1 month, fought in the tournament. I went to the championship.
Yeah.
I made it to the championship, but I broke my thumb. So, and this was at heavyweight. I was 210 pounds. I got down like 201. I was still.
That's heavy.
I was still heavyweight. No, like 203, 204. I was still heavyweight. Yeah. And,
really, it's super heavyweight.
No, my bad. I was 210, but I got down like 97.
Okay.
I was like 97, 95. So
you had
I was a heavyweight.
5'7".
At 5'7". I made it to the championship, and but I broke my thumb. So my thumb heals up. I get down to 187, but I'm still a heavyweight.
Yeah, definitely.
My next fight, I'll get my nose broke. My second fight, I was like, man, I said, these boys is too big for me. I gotta get down to like heavyweight. This shit killing me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. My nose heal up, and I get down to 178, and I go to Golden Gloves. When I went to go sign up for the Golden Gloves, I only had 2 fights because I got my nose broke and I broke my thumb. I had 2 fights in 8 years.
Right.
I'm gonna say it one more time.
2 fights.
I hadn't fought in 8 years. I had 2 fights. I went to the Golden Gloves to sign up, and I said the Olympics. My whole goal was to make the Olympic team to go to LA. I said I got 1 year. I said there's no reason for me to fight novice. I got to fight open, so I can see how good these boys are.
Right. Yeah.
I wrote down I had 12 fights and fought open. I had 2 fights in 8 years.
You wrote down.
I won in Golden Gloves. I win one of the regions. I go to the Nationals, and my bracket is the great Jeremy Williams. This kid was undefeated in America. Nobody beat Jeremy Williams in America. He had 100 knockouts.
Damn.
I had 7 fights. We fought in Des Moines, Iowa. He from Des Moines, Iowa. You know what I'm saying? I fought him in his hometown. The fight is on YouTube. He told me after the fight I beat him. Everybody know I beat him. You know what I'm saying? And that was my 7th fight. I beat him. I lost. I got robbed. That's another letdown in my life. You know what I'm saying? But people seeing like man, what does dude come from? Like he's serious. So people started watching me. I started getting more attention everywhere I was going, you know what I'm saying? And then the U.S. Championships came around in February '92. Right. This the Olympic year, so I got to make the trials. Yeah, right. So now the thing about it, Terry McGroom, one of the greatest fighters in history, greatest fighters in Chicago, was the light heavyweight. The National Golden Gloves in Chicago that year. I was like, there's no way if I go to Chicago, I'm going to win. I'm going to beat Terry McGroom, they're going to give it to me. I said, I got to win the U.S. Championship. Yeah. There was only 3 chances to make the trials, and I knew I wasn't going to get picked to be a house team. And I didn't want to go to the Eastern trials. The Western trials. I like, man, let's just go to the first tournament and win that. I went to the U.S. Championships. I had maybe 18, 19 fights. I know when I won the tournament, I had 21, so I must have had 17.
Okay.
Right, it's 5 fights, right? So I had 17 fights. I fought Frank Vassar my first fight. He was ranked in the nation. I beat him. I ran up the score. It was like 65 to 20 something. Okay, what I'm saying? And then like people, you could see like, okay, when I fought Frank, you could hear people say, man, that's the dude who fought Jeremy. So they came down to watch me. Yeah. Okay, I beat Frank Vassar. Boom. Then my next fight was Jermaine Thetford, who was all-service champ. He was top 10. He was ranked. Right. I beat him. He was a puncher. He hurt me with a body shot. I shook it off and ended up, I beat him. And
that's good.
So you can hear the chatter like, man, Griffin. You know
who is that?
Yeah, that's Griffin. Who's Griffin? Damn. So my third fight, I fight the kid from the Army. Oh my God, Denard Trapp. Denard Trapp 6'3", 6'4".
And you
tall.
5'7".
I'm 5'7". Denard Trapp had just fought John Bray in the Olympic Fest earlier that year. Denard Trapp was tough. I beat him. And when they said my name, you heard the whole crowd like, yeah, he real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He for real. So my fourth fight was against the future heavyweight champion of the world, John Ruiz.
Okay.
He was number one. He was number one in the nation. I had 20 amateur fights. He was number one in the nation. I had 20 amateur fights. Okay, one thing I gotta say, if you look up my scores in my life fights, a lot of my fights, well, like I only beat John Bray by 1 point, but one thing I gotta tell people, 6 or 7, probably 10, 12 of my fights, I had got 3 points taken from me because they said my head was low. I'm 5'7".
That's what I'm saying. And
I'm defensive. See, amateur boxers, they want you to stand straight up like a robot.
Oh, yeah?
I'm doing this.
Rolling.
So I gave away 3 points on the majority of my fights. So if you look and see, I only beat John Ruiz by 1 point. That's really BS. The third round, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Jesse Reed, who hate me, he put me down a lot. He disrespect. I'm not even gonna say disrespect. He mad because he wasn't my trainer. Jesse Reed is my trainer in amateurs.
Yeah.
But Jesse Reed had fell out with my sponsor who was paying my bills.
Okay.
And he said, you can go with Jesse or you can come with me. I said, Jesse ain't gonna pay my bills. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I had to go with the guy who took care of me.
Right, of course.
And I told Jesse that before, you know what I'm saying? His son passed away. I told his son. I told Jesse. He still, you know, said with him. But anyway, so Jesse Reed told me, he's like, man, look. It was like I was tired. I had never fought 4 times in a row. I fought 4 days in a row. I was tired. I was wore out.
4 days in a row.
And I was looking down. I was thinking to myself, man, I did pretty good. I know I had made the trials yesterday, but I did pretty good. But I was so tired. I almost was like, man, I was gonna just say give up and give up and say I did pretty good.
Right.
And Jesse really said, "Look at me, God damn it!" He cursed at me. I don't like people who disrespect me, but the way he said that, it made me look up. And I looked at. He said, "God damn it, suck this shit up, go whoop this motherfucker ass, suck this shit up, let's go." And that shit changed. That won the fight for me. Wow. It got me on a whole nother level. Wow. I went out there and I beat the shit out of John Ruiz. No, the last round, that was the first time, because I'm like a slick boxer. Yeah. But that round, I stood there and fought him. I just banged him out. And I won that fight. That was okay. I was Olympic. I had made the Olympic trials, just winning the semifinals. So if even if I didn't if I didn't win the championship, I made the trials. I'm fighting a guy 6'5", Harry McKee. You know what I'm saying?
6'5".
I know he had a long reach. You know what I'm saying?
6'5". And he's a southpaw. He's a southpaw. 6'5" southpaw.
Wow.
But I was just on fire, man.
So you had to get in and under.
Man, I beat the shit out of Harry McKee. I beat the man.
Did you beat his ass to the body, or did you? I mean, how did you do that?
I just my
head and body.
My style was just so different, man. It was just about time and in and out.
Yeah.
I would get my time, and I have a guy punch me.
Yeah.
And it stopped right here. That would be my timing. Once it stopped right here, boom, I got him. That would be my timing.
You in.
Yeah.
So, man.
Was that just natural? Or was that something
that's one thing.
Was it natural ability?
I learned how to box at 12 years old, so I don't remember. I don't know why I fight the way I do. I don't know. I try to... in my eyes, I'm looking like just like Muhammad Ali. Okay. But you just said I'm fighting like Joe Frazier. I ain't never heard that in my life.
I swear to God.
I'm just playing. I just thought everything I did was Muhammad Ali. I wanted to be like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Yeah. Did you play any others? Did you do any other sports?
Good question.
Like what? First of all, like I said, my mother's Jehovah's Witness, so you can't do shit.
No.
So
I know quite a few Jehovah's Witness. You know,
I played football.
They didn't play no sport.
Like on the side. You know what I'm saying? Pick up football at the park.
Sand lot.
I couldn't play for my high school. I was the starting point guard. I couldn't play.
So you went to Finger, right?
No, I'm talking about as far as grammar school. I went to Fernwood, and then I went to Mega Evers. Okay. My 8th grade year, I was a starting point guard on the 8th grade team, but my mother wouldn't let me play. So my father died, so it is what it is. So
okay,
you know what I'm saying. So
That was a very good question because I was wondering
I'm trying to figure out where did
your
you
athleticness.
I mean, I could play football, basketball. My favorite sport. I played Little League, which I was an average baseball player. I was an average basketball player, but basketball my favorite sport. Okay. As far as football, I didn't have breakaway speed, so I don't think I would have made it to the NFL.
I don't know because
I would have made D1.
I don't know because Barry Sanders.
I would have made D1.
I don't know because Barry Sanders was about 5'7". I don't know
Barry Sanders 220 though. You know
I'm just saying that
I'm 190. You know what I'm saying? He got that size to back him up. I was 190 and I ain't had no breakaway speed. So
I got another question. Did you ever get into like scraps in the neighborhood?
Man, of course. I mean, I became a neighborhood legend because
that's what I wanted to know.
I had some street fights that
get straight to the point.
And see, by you being, the reason I asked that because by you being your height, 5'7", I don't know what it is about taller guys that just think, the smaller guys.
I went through that my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I was little. You know what I'm saying? And I probably was an asshole, so people mess with me. And, you know what I'm saying? People fuck with me.
I know what you were saying, Big Mac, because, you fought amateurs, you know what I'm saying, when you was in, KC.
And that's what made me start boxing because I always was tall. As, I don't know, even when I was like 11 or 12, I was probably like 5'10", 5'11" or so. But it was something about the older guys that I was kind of timid about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I had no problem. Could I whoop them as far as skills is concerned? But I thought they could always get me because they bigger and they stronger.
Right.
So, but my daddy was a boxer. He taught me at a young age, just like Montell was just saying, like about 5 years old, as early as he can remember. My daddy taught me how to jab. He said, jab is one of your best punches. Just keep on sticking the jab, 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 drop the right hand. And so one day I actually tried it. Dude was chasing me down the street.
Yeah.
Because every Friday night we used to have movie nights at the house, right?
Yeah.
So my daddy used to send us up to the donut shop and get some day-old donuts, and we'll watch the movie. Mm-hmm. So every time I would come back to the house, I would have an excuse why I didn't have the donuts.
Right.
Or the money.
Right.
So a dog chased me. I jumped the fence, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So one time my daddy, he decided to follow me, and he seen, I said, I'm coming home with these donuts tonight. And this guy chasing me down the street.
Yeah.
My daddy came out from around the building and said, you better stop. Get him.
Oh, yeah.
And so I stopped, and just like he told me, I hit him with the jab, right hand, and dropped him. Yeah. So that gave me my confidence. You did.
Confidence, right?
Yeah. So I was like, that shit worked. Yeah. And so then I made my partner named Fred Berry, best friend. He's dead now. Uh-huh. But he told me, he said, man, just take these gloves, put them on your neck. I had 2 pair on my neck. A pair on my neck. He had a pair on his neck.
Yeah.
So he said, we're going to go around the neighborhood. Everybody that beat you down, bullied you or whatever, I want you to challenge them. Anybody else jump in, I got your back. It was like I said, his last name is Berry, and that's what they was, like berries on the trees, because it was like 16 of them. So nobody messed with them. You did.
It's a big family, right?
Yeah, so he had my back, right?
Yeah, of course.
So then, I started trying it out. Boom, boom. And it was working, everything he told me.
Yeah.
So then, I lived on a block called Montell. And we used to call it Montell, Friday night fights, Montell Madison Square Garden.
Under the street light, right?
Under the street light. We had the referee. People came from 4 blocks this way, 4 blocks that way.
Admission free? Or they have to pay? You know, someone
no, it was free. It was free.
Okay.
Anybody could box anybody, any weight division. I'm boxing this cat like Montell size, 5'7", but only thing, I'm like 175 at the time. I'm 16 or 17. This dude like 22, 23, but he was a short guy.
Right.
And he was probably like 125. But I caught him with a shot and knocked him down. but it was a car coming down the street, so the referee at the time said, break it up. But I caught him with a shot because I had him kind of shook, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the guys that happened to be coming down the street in the truck, he was like, man, we seen what happened. He did knock you down. You didn't trip over the curb, blah, blah, blah. So they got out. It was two big guys. One had on a white T-shirt, swole up. One had on overalls, no shirt, super swole up. And these cats, like I said, I'm like 16 at the time.
Right.
These cats like 30.
Right.
So come to find out, well, I didn't know at the time, but the guy told me, he said, hey, why don't you box somebody your own size? Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, everybody up on the corner, so I was like, man, I can't turn it down, you know, even though I didn't want to, because I'm looking at his physical side. I'm a little skinny kid, you know.
I bet some females was there too, right?
I was plenty.
Man, I know you had to try, right?
I know you couldn't stop. So dude came out, he caught me with a left hook to the body, left hook to the chin. That was the first combination he threw. I said, oh, nice punch. I said, oh, shit, to myself. I said, this dude can bang. So, but he caught me with he threw the same combination. Left hook to the body. He went to go upstairs. I caught him with a jab, straight right hand. Knocked him out.
He knocked him out, man.
And I'm talking about he fell, busted his forehead up on the street. And the dude that was with him, come to find out, this dude was pro that I knocked out. He down there trying to whoop a kid, me. But I caught him with a good shot, knocked him out. The other guy that was with him was his trainer, so he gave me a card to go down to the gym. So when I went down to the gym, they wouldn't even let me go upstairs at first, you know what I'm saying, where the rings was. They kept me downstairs, learn how to hit the bag. Ain't nobody showing me. I don't know how to hit no bag. The double end bag, I can't even hit it. You know, it's just bouncing everywhere. I can't even hit the bag. So next thing you know, they let me come upstairs because another guy was pro. He was light heavyweight. Charles Hollywood Henderson was his name.
Hollywood Henderson.
Hollywood Henderson. He was pro.
You sure that wasn't a football player, man? From, you know, something for Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys, man. That's his Hollywood, man.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, that's what they call him. Hey, I can't choose the name.
I feel you.
So anyway, so when we got upstairs in the ring, they wanted me to spar with him because he had a pro fight coming up because he was the Missouri state champ at the time. And I was one of the only guys down at the gym that was in his weight class. So we started boxing. And he was like, damn. I'm hanging with him. You know what I'm saying? This is my first time ever in a ring. And I hung with him. I had no idea who he was. I just know I can't get my ass whooped down here. That was my thing. And then when I got through boxing him, everybody in the gym was like, damn, man, where you box at? Where you come from? I said, this is my first time in the ring. He was like, bullshit. So it so happened to be 6 weeks before the Golden Gloves. So then the guy named Robert Nix, we call him Mr. Nix, he ran the gym. So he wanted me to fight. He wanted me to fight open because he said, man, damn. He was like, man, you got some skills. You ain't never been in the ring. He said, you just got natural ability. And I just know I was winning. I ain't know nothing about natural ability. I just know I could jab and I could hit hard. You know what I'm saying? That I had some skills. I can get out the way, whatever. Yeah, that was just my thing, man. So then the Golden Gloves came around. Mr. Nix wanted me to fight open. Henderson he said, man, I don't know how he gonna act under some real pressure. So he let me fight novice. He made me fight novice. So I went in there. We had to fight 4 nights in a row in the Golden Gloves. Wednesday, Thursday was the preliminaries. Fridays was the finals. Semifinals. Saturday was the finals. So I knocked him out. First night, I knocked him out a minute and 56 seconds in the first round. Second night, minute 47 seconds.
You were one hit a quitter, right? You know what I'm saying?
How you remember? What year was this?
This was in 80. This was the first year was 83.
How you remember the seconds?
Because I was impressed.
That's what it was.
Some shit you don't forget.
I hear you.
It was. I'm telling you, the first night, which was on a Wednesday at the Municipal Auditorium, minute 56 seconds, first round. Second night, which was a Thursday, minute 47 seconds. The third night, 56 seconds. I knocked him out first round. Fourth night, I lost. And the reason I feel I lost because we was walking around. They had 4 rings set up in Missouri at the time. It was 4 rings set up. I mean, the auditorium was just full with people. You know, I mean, I was just, that's why I was asking you earlier about the Olympics, man, what you had to do to get to them, because that's so impressive.
I watched 1976, Howard Davis, the Spinks brothers, Sugar Ray Leonard. They all put on, Leo Randolph, it was all gold medalists. They all put on the show. But it just so happened, I watched Ray Leonard's fight with my father. When Ray Leonard won the championship, I watched the gold medal with my father, and I always said I want to be a gold medalist for my father. So, that was December 1990. I made up my mind in the box. It was a year and a half before the Olympics. I made my mind I was gonna make it. I made the team. You know what I'm saying? I had 30 amateur fights.
When you went to the Olympics, what did you get, the bronze or?
I fought in the bronze medal round. I fought the world champion. They changed the brackets. I was supposed to fight the Cuban. If you watch my second fight on YouTube against the Korean, they say that the Cubans are taping Montell because he's gonna fight. I forgot his name. Garbe. Garbe was in Barcelona, and they said he was gonna fight Garbe, but no, Garbe didn't make it. Garbe didn't make it because they said he got in trouble, and they sent a kid from the '76 Olympics who was walking on his heels, like he was looking like he was punchy. Right. So I'm like, I was supposed to be the third fight was supposed to be against the Cuban. Right. I was gonna fight. This is gonna be the first fight, American fight a Cuban since '76. Yeah. I was gonna be the first one to fight a Cuban, and they changed the bracket. I guess they looked at me and said, "Man, this kid gonna be a problem. Let's fight him now." They changed the bracket and made me fight the world champion. I fought him in the quarterfinals. He was 6'5". He was a southpaw. It was hard to figure him out and get to him and score. So my main thing was just not getting hit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think the end of the first round was 1-1. The end of the second round it was 2-2. And going to the third round, I guess I went up 4-2. And when I hit him on his eye to cut him, they gave him my point.
Usually that wasn't the fight on the cut though.
What amateur fight have you ever seen in your life continue over cut?
That's what I'm saying.
That's how I know. It was just blatant corruption.
I know.
I got stabbed in my back.
I know.
On national TV.
I agree. Because on the '92 Olympic team, you was with Oscar De La Hoya, right?
Well, the thing was, Oscar De La Hoya and Eric Griffin was the 2 stars of the team. But Lil E had got bullshitted, and he was out the tournament. So when he lost, that was like a spot for me to step in. I knew Oscar was going to do his thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can't do no respect. This kid was 18 years old with all the pressures in the world on his back. And I seen him in the gym every day, and I seen the stress on his face. I seen it. I'm looking at him like, this kid, boy. I could just tell he's just going through a lot of shit. Yeah. But that kid stepped up and did his thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was only Olympic champion. He was the only gold medalist on our team. know what I'm saying? I hate, you know what I'm saying? I hate that I don't have a gold medal.
Yeah, because
no doubt.
Because it was saying it was a controversial.
Like I said, they should have stopped the fight when he was cut in the first place.
Any amateur
anytime
fight,
you bleeding, when you bleeding, that's automatic.
Well, let's say the whole truth about it. The 1992, the head of U.S. boxing was German. The Germans.
Yeah.
They was the head of AIBA. It's AIBA, the AIBA.
Yeah.
That's who runs amateur boxing.
Okay.
In 1992, the president was German.
Okay.
They had 2 German fighters, Marco Rudolph, who Oscar De La Hoya beat,
Yeah.
and Torsten.
Yeah, Torsten.
They made sure they got the gold medals.
Yeah.
And I cut the kid eye. This is the quarterfinals. I cut his eye open, and they let him fight with a patch over his eye. What have you seen this in your life? Wow. He fought with a patch over his eye. Yeah, 2 fights.
A patch over his eye.
And I beat the silver medalists a month before the Olympics. So I beat the gold medalists and the silver medalists, and I don't have a medal to show for it.
Wow.
And it kills me. It rips out my heart every day.
I bet it does, man. You got to.
Yeah.
But when you went in the ring fighting as an amateur like that, did you... I mean, I heard Mike Tyson say one time, so a man thinking he's probably right. Did you go in the ring thinking that you were going to whoop these dudes? I mean, or was you kind of timid and a little bit when you went in the ring? Or did
I
you
said
just
I was going to make,
there?
not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I said I was going to make the Olympic team. December 1990. I said I was going to make the Olympic team, and I made it.
Yeah.
I didn't care who was in front of me. I didn't care about rules. I didn't care about being black. I had to care because I kept getting fucked. You know what I'm saying? I got robbed in so many fights, but I said I wasn't losing.
Yeah.
And like I said, I beat 4 guys in the top 10 in the U.S. Championships. I won the U.S. Championships. At the U.S. Championships, they said, you don't have enough experience, so we're going to send you to Moscow. I went to Moscow and fought the world champion, Andrei Kunyavka. I fought him who knocked out Jeremy Williams. I fought Andrei Kunyavka and beat him in Russia. Unanimous decision. I beat him so bad that the Russian judges voted for me. For real. It was a 5-0 decision in Russia. No Russian votes for him.
We gotta remember now the wall just came down. So,
what I'm saying is,
the wall just came down, man.
Even if they wanted to cheat, they was like, man, this kid,
just whooped the shit out of him.
Man, the kid was the world champ. I beat him my 22nd fight. I beat the shit out of him.
Wait a minute, you said how many seconds?
What?
You said 20 seconds.
My 22nd fight. My 22nd fight.
20 seconds?
My 22nd fight. I beat the world champion. They gave me fight of the night. I got a gold teapot set. I packaged it up and gave it to my mother. Why? I don't know. I don't know why I gave it to her and she didn't want me to box. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, so yeah, you know what I'm saying? I beat the Russian. So it's just so much talk like, man, this Griffin kid, he the real deal.
Yeah,
so,
no doubt. Because I was checking out your amateur career, man. It seemed like everything you touched on the gold.
So when you was over there, I gotta ask this question. When you was over there in Barcelona, man, I know the women's over there, man. Man, what was the women's like over there, man?
See, the
Spain,
thing in Barcelona that wasn't fair. In 1992. We was in the village. It was beautiful women.
Except the dream team, right?
Yeah, they stayed in
hotels, right?
They told us no sex.
What?
If you get caught having sex, you're gonna get kicked out of the village, and it's not.
I got kicked out.
Right? Listen. Right after that, they changed their whole rules and started inviting people to have sex, had condoms and everything. So, right. I mean, I had a girl who I met there. Who I ended up dating and having sex with, but we couldn't do it in Barcelona.
Oh, you could?
We got in trouble. I mean, I know people who still snuck and did it.
Yeah, of course.
Right. But they just took a chance on it. Like I ain't gonna say nobody's name, but some of the guys had slept with girls at the beach. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But yeah, I couldn't bring a girl in my room.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said,
Man.
Yeah, Barcelona, boy. That brings back memories.
Yeah, I mean,
See, I've never been there.
I've never been there either.
I saw the Dream Team. I saw Michael Johnson. I saw
Karl Malone. I mean, no.
I saw Karl Malone.
Patrick Ewing.
I met Patrick Ewing. I saw Karl Malone. I met Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
That was Carl Lewis's last Olympics.
Right. Didn't you meet
I took a
Carl
picture of
Lewis
Carl
over there?
Lewis.
Yeah.
True story. When we made the Olympic team, they gave everybody a real nice camera. It was a very expensive camera, very nice camera. They gave every Olympian a camera. So what I would do when I was at the village, I would take it everywhere I went. So if I run into somebody, I take a picture with them. Okay. Nah, this was so classy. I'm coming down out the village. I come around the corner and this guy running to me. Boom. I was like, damn, man. And he said, man, my brother. He said, my brother, I'm sorry. And I look at it was Carl Lewis. I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go get my picture, my camera. I'll be right back. He said, okay. Nah, I ain't know if he was gonna be there or not. I'm gonna go get my camera. I came right back. He was there. He took the picture, and I had mad respect for him. He's one of the greatest Olympians ever in history. I met Leroy Burrell, Carl Lewis.
Was Flojo there too?
Do I got a picture of Flojo?
Flojo 84.
Yeah, I got a picture of
She running in the 92?
Flojo was 88.
88.
Right. I got a picture of the girl who followed behind.
What, Marion Jones?
No, Givens.
No.
Marion Jones. No,
was it Marion Jones?
It was
Jones was.
She was the sister, the high jumper.
Jackie Jordan.
Jackie Jordan Kirsten. I got a picture with her and her brother. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a picture with them. You know what I'm saying? I just kept my camera everywhere I went.
That was Illinois' one of the finest athletes, man. Jackie Jordan Kirsten.
Yeah.
She's from East St. Louis, ain't she?
Yeah. Down towards Missouri.
Yeah. And let me ask you this also. Are you and James Toney friends?
I love James Toney. He one of the greatest fighters ever. First of all, in 1992, James Toney was my favorite fighter. I love James Toney. And I met him. I went to his house. I stayed at his house for a week.
What?
We sparred and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's probably the worst thing that ever happened to him. Because I sparred him.
You whooped him.
Yeah. So you beat him twice.
I had the style to give him problems.
Yeah.
So you beat him twice.
He was my idol. He brought me up to Michigan. He was gonna be my manager. But what he offered me was just wasn't enough. I just like, nah, I'm not. I can't just settle like that. And I ended up getting more. I didn't get what I wanted, but I ended up getting more. I ended up getting double. I got a double what he offered me.
Yeah.
So did you sign with a promotion team back then?
I had a manager. I didn't sign with a promotion team until I beat James Toney. It was the second time.
What top rank? What was it? Top rank?
Panos Iliades. He was from London.
Oh, he's from London?
He was Lennox Lewis promoter.
Oh, okay.
That was my promoter.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Is y'all second fight when y'all fought for the IBF? Was that the second one y'all fought for the IBF?
IBF Intercontinental was the first one. The W World title was the second fight.
Okay.
And at that time, that was a major title.
Because you used it on the WBC light heavyweight champion, right?
WBC light heavyweight champion, and I was W light heavyweight champ.
Oh, okay.
Cause you beat Michael McCullough too, didn't you?
No, Mike McCallum. We had I had got offered to fight Mike McCallum for $80,000, and I got offered to fight James Toney the second time for $500,000. So I took the other fight.
Right.
I sparred Mike McCallum. I sparred Mike McCallum like 4 or 5 times, and I played with him every time I sparred. I played.
You took it easy on him.
No, I played with him. He was one of the greatest fighters in history.
Yeah, Mike
he was world champion. I played with him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Because.
I mean, and people in Vegas, I still talk to people to this day who saw it and was like, man, I've never seen nobody do that to Mike McCallum.
Is Mike McCallum the one that got got injured in that fight? Who was the guy?
No, that's Joe McClellan.
Yeah,
Mike McCallum was a body snatcher.
Yeah, body snatcher.
Great
right,
fighter.
Right.
He was a technician. I learned a lot from him, but
But I see. Let me ask you this question too. Did they call you Ice? Because I noticed when you was in the ring and used to fight, you just used to look so relaxed. I mean, you just be like
my friend Brian Cooper. When I got home from the Olympics, my friend Brian Cooper started calling me Ice. I don't know why, but he started calling me Ice. And then after the Toney fight, Eddie Futch was saying I was just cool as ice. Yeah. And the Ice name just really
made sense.
That's when it blew up then. I mean,
because you was
I was in the
relaxed,
gym so
man.
young. I was too dumb to be scared or nervous. I didn't care about these people I fought. I grew up with Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, right.
So I never looked at nobody like that. If I grew up with the greatest man that ever walked this earth, why would I look up to somebody else?
Yeah.
Why would I care about anybody else?
Makes sense.
That's how I looked at things.
Yeah. Because, I mean, when I saw you in the ring, you just seemed like so relaxed. Just like.
I was just cool and calm.
I mean, just.
I was in the gym at 1 year old.
Yeah.
Even though I took them 8 years off. Yeah. Even though me and my mother, that's my mother. I love my mother. She my mother. But of course, our relationship ain't never been the same. You know what I'm saying?
Because you felt that took some years.
Who was she to determine my legacy? If I was fighting, my father was alive. If he died, I still should be able to fight if I want to fight. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's it is what it is. But
right.
That's my mother. But you know what I'm saying? It's just it was just it changed the legacy. If I never stop fighting, man, I'm an all-time great. I'm one of the greatest fighters in ever. I got in the ring.
True that.
I got in the ring with fighters that was great, and I played with them.
Yeah.
I was special, bro.
Yes.
If I didn't lose them 8 years, I'm on another level.
I agree. You were special.
I fought these guys learning on the job. I fought James Toney the first time. I only fought 4 years. I fought 14 pro fights when I fought James Toney.
Yeah, you did. 14 fights. He had 44,
Just imagine if I was a guy who fought his career for 10, 12 years through the amateurs and the juniors and just fought
the experience.
Come on, man.
The experience.
I was special, bro.
Yeah,
I was special, man.
Yes, you was.
And I don't mean to keep harping on your height, but 5'7", 170-something pounds,
I was special, bro. Yeah. It was meant to be. I was meant to be. I was meant to make it in boxing.
Yeah.
I was around Muhammad Ali when I was 5 years old. My father had me in the gym when I was 1. I was blessed. God blessed me with a chin. I was blessed with skill, and I did the best with it, man.
Yeah, and see, because I haven't seen you. I seen like when Tony caught you. I want to say 3rd, 4th. I mean, he caught you with a good shot, but you shook that shit.
Call me a good counter right hand. Eddie Futch, Papa Smurf said, Montell.
You shook that shit off.
Just shook it off like a wet dog. You know what I'm saying? Shook it off.
See, it also helped me too because he threw a bomb and fell on the floor. He tried so hard to knock me out. I saw him coming, but he didn't think I saw him coming.
They thought you was going down and he went down.
My friend said, man, if he would have hit you, he'd have killed you. I saw him coming. I just waited till last minute. I slipped and he fell on the floor. And he gave me like 10 more seconds to recover.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Everything was scientific. Everything I did in boxing. But people have never broke it down and gave me respect for it.
I know, man. That's another thing that burns me out with a fighter like
did it
yourself.
for a reason. I was scientific. I thought about shit. I put shit together. I was defensive. I was a defensive wizard.
Yeah.
I would go 3-4 days where I get hit with a clean punch and sparring. How many people can say that? I went days before I would spar 3-4 different guys.
What,
I
like 10 rounds a day or so?
Hey, you know what? I did 15 rounds once with Jesse Reed when I was an amateur. But training for a pro fight, I don't remember going more than 9 rounds. So I never remember going more than 9 rounds. So
Right.
Probably 5, 6, 7.
7 rounds, yeah. But still, you didn't get hit with a clean shot.
I would go weeks.
You slipped.
I would go
everything.
3-4 days.
And so your defense is better than Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Defense
I just okay.
Right,
Since you brought it up, I didn't bring it up. I sparred Floyd Mayweather.
Did you?
Really?
He did not hit me with one clean punch.
You taught him the shoulder roll, right? You the one that taught him. You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't teach him nothing. I mean, his father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., and his uncle Roger and Jeff.
Yeah.
They was all they've been in the gym their whole life. They they all geniuses in that boxing game. Roger could punch, Big Floyd could box. Floyd was both of them. You know what I'm saying? If God got an etcher or a paper and wrote down the greatest fighter or the perfect fighter, it'd be Floyd Mayweather.
Really?
Damn.
As far as defense, smarts, chin.
What?
At 35, 40, he had punching power. He had it all, man.
Really?
He had it all.
So, what you think about today's fighters now?
I respect all of them. I think right now boxing is comparable to the 90s, which people say I'm saying it because I'm from the 90s, but if you do the homework and put it together and think about it, the 90s is the greatest era in boxing history. From 105 to heavyweight, it was stacked with stars.
You said the 90s.
The 90s was the greatest era in boxing history.
Over the 70s
man, look, you had
wow.
The 80s had the big four. The big four, Larry Holmes. I respect all the other champions, but they didn't have names. The 90s, the 90s had Michael Carbajal, Humberto Gonzalez. You got these guys at 105.
Yeah, okay.
You go all the way up to 47 to heavyweight to. You had Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Michael Moore,
Andrew Galata,
all fighting at the same time.
Yeah.
The best light heavyweight, cruiserweights, the best you can say. They used to say that they still want to say that the 70s is a better era for heavyweights and light heavyweights. No, but it's not. It's not.
Montell.
It's not. Okay, I'm going to ask you one question. Hold on. The best 4 heavyweights of the 70s is Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, and Ken Norton.
Yeah.
Okay.
No question about it.
Yeah.
Are they better than Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, Mike Tyson, and Evander Holyfield? No. They not better than that 4.
Some are better than others, but
I'm saying all 4. If you take all 4 and put them together,
okay.
Lennox Lewis,
match them up,
Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, Mike Tyson.
Let's match them up. For instance, let's match. Same fighters you said in that era. Let's match them and see.
Lennox Lewis will give Ali the most problems.
Yeah, because he got that long
his
punch.
length.
Yeah,
his length, and he can punch. He would give Ali the most problems.
Yeah. But this is just my opinion, Montell.
Riddick Bowe would play with Joe Frazier or Ken Norton. Riddick Bowe would play with Ken Norton or Joe Frazier. Riddick Bowe would play with Joe Frazier or Ken Norton.
True.
Okay.
But I bet you wouldn't with George Foreman.
I think he could stand there with George.
You think?
Riddick Bowe had a chin.
But then tell me this, Montell, because the fighters of that era and this era, they were some hell of a bigger fighters.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say something. Listen, I'm gonna say something to you. I'm gonna say something to you that make you think, and then.
Okay, all right.
That's finna win the whole argument.
Okay.
I would take the 90s George Foreman over the 70s George Foreman because he was smarter and he's better.
Yeah.
I would take the 90s George Foreman.
I agree with that.
That's why the 90s is better than the 70s. I'm glad you brought that up. I would take the George Foreman in the 90s was better than the George Foreman in the 70s. Yeah.
And he still didn't talk about Mike Tyson.
I don't really like to bring up Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson is the worst fighter out of the other 4.
Really?
What?
If you bring up Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, and Evander Holyfield, all 3 of them beat Mike Tyson.
Why?
Technically,
Yeah, Riddick Bowe would beat Mike Tyson.
You know what?
Wow.
Riddick Bowe, and I'm not saying it because he's my friend and I train with him and we had the same trainer. Riddick Bowe is the most talented heavyweight ever in history.
He only lost, one fight?
He only lost one fight, but I'm saying, okay, he might have got overweight and he might have,
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, now he whooped Holyfield.
As far as technical, as far as
he beat Holyfield twice, but Holyfield got him.
That fight could have been a draw. The fight Holyfield won could have been a draw.
True.
And I told Bo, I said, man, you shouldn't have never went out there. We talked one day. He said, well, I tell you, I won. Do you think I lost? Tell me, do you think I lost? I said, I had a draw. I had a 66. But I said, but one thing, that's when the parachute dude, the guy flew in the ring. That throws off the whole fight.
Yeah.
I mean, the fight, because that's not in the contract. So, Riddick Bowe shouldn't have came back out. The fight should have been over. But when the fan man came in that ring and it slowed down momentum, it was 50 degrees in Vegas that night. It was cold that night. Yeah. Holyfield had robes and blankets and everything because Lou Duval was smart enough to break it. Yeah. But Eddie Fuch and them didn't, and Big Daddy got cold, and he ended up losing that fight. Yeah. I told him that's what fucked him up. He shouldn't have never lost. He should have never. He should have been. I mean, people can talk shit about Andrew Galata all they want to and say Riddick didn't win, whatever.
Yeah, I ain't tripping on that.
And you know what? Okay, you can say the same thing about me. I won my title over disqualification, but it was for a reason. I was beating his ass. That's why he got disqualified. So what I'm saying about Riddick Bowe and Galata, it was a win. Riddick Bowe didn't lose the fight. Galata fouled his way out the fight. He fouled his way out. He fouled 3 or 4 times both fights.
Exactly.
He didn't want to win that fight.
And that counts because shit, hey, you chose to foul because obviously you felt you wasn't going to win the way I see it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, why are you still throwing low blows?
Right. He didn't want to win. He didn't want to win.
Right. But as far as Mike Tyson, you said
I love Mike Tyson. I respect Mike Tyson, but he's not better than Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, or Riddick Bowe.
You know what? I said it when if Tyson ever fought Holyfield, I believe that Tyson's going to bring the best out of Holyfield, and Holyfield, you know what I'm saying?
Bring the best out of him.
He's going to beat Tyson. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Which he did twice.
Right. I'm going to just tell you this. My father, Clarence Griffin, trained the first man that knocked out Mike Tyson. Al Evans knocked out Mike Tyson
in sparring.
No. They in a fight. Mike Tyson was young, but it was an amateur fight. Al Evans knocked him out. Right. Al Evans told me he was there when Holyfield sparred Mike Tyson, and he said Holyfield beat his ass, and it started getting out of control, and they shut it down.
So Holyfield had his number all the time.
Holyfield said that day he knew he could beat Mike Tyson.
He had his number all the time.
He knew. He just had his number. He knew how to fight. Mike Tyson is an intimidator.
Yeah,
he can't intimidate Holyfield.
That's right. Yeah. Now I agree with that
100%. He's not going to intimidate Riddick Bowe. He's not intimidating Lennox Lewis. Oh. No. I love Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I love Mike too.
But it is what it is, right?
And he might not feel, I can't be certain fights. I mean, it don't bother me. I'm just saying what I feel. Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson is the greatest ever in the 90s. They beating any four heavyweights you put together.
Wow.
Well, okay.
Any 4 heavyweights you put together in any era. Okay. Ain't beating them.
Okay.
But, you know, wow. But now back to this though. When I had mentioned earlier in this conversation when I had mentioned Sugar Ray Robinson. Right. And you said he never was your favorite fighter.
I respect Sugar Ray Robinson.
No, you said that. You said it. But, okay, like, for instance, like with Floyd Mayweather, he 50-0, right? Okay. Sugar Ray Robinson was 47-0 before he lost his first fight. Right. And then he came back and won, 76 in a row?
Yeah. I respect that. I respect that.
So, I mean...
And you know what? Let me break it down because it's something that people don't know.
All right, break it down to me.
Ray Robinson lost to Jake LaMotta. Jake LaMotta was 160 pounds. Ray Robinson was 144 pounds. The fight really shouldn't even been legal.
True that.
Ray Robinson was 144 pounds. Jake LaMotta was 160. That's how he lost to Jake LaMotta. But he beat him 6 other times. I think did they fight 7 times or 5 times?
I thought it was 5 times.
Oh, that sounds good to me. He beat him 4 other. Right. It's 5-1.
Yeah.
I got to watch, you know what I'm saying, the Raging Bull. You know what I'm saying, that movie. You know what I'm saying?
But
Ray Robinson was 144 pounds.
But see, the impressive thing to me with him, like I said, 47-0, lose 1, come back and win 76.
And 5 more was the guy who beat him.
I respect
You heard me right. Come on now.
If you want to say he the GOAT,
Come on now.
the majority of people in the world, on this world, say Ray Robinson the GOAT.
Yeah, I do. I got to go with Ray as the GOAT, man. And
I just feel from 1964 to 1968, Cassius Clay Muhammad Ali is the greatest fight I've ever seen in my life.
I hear you.
That's how
I
I
hear
say
you.
it. It might sound stupid.
No, it don't. It don't
That
sound
he was the
stupid at
greatest
all.
fighter I ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Shit,
But these
the Rumble in the Jungle did it for me.
Rumble in the Jungle, what about the Thriller in Manila?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean, and we talking about a guy who has sat out 3.5 years of his career, lost his
Absolutely.
legs,
Absolutely.
changed his whole style.
Absolutely.
People don't understand. Muhammad Ali found out he could take a punch. That was the greatest thing for him.
Right.
Which was the worst thing for him.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
The greatest thing for him was he could take a punch. The worst thing for him is he knew he could take a punch.
Yep.
Because
he started getting hit with more of them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You start getting hit with more punches?
From 1975 to 1983, I was around Muhammad Ali for 8 years. I saw him change. I saw his words drag. I saw him slow down.
Wow.
So, hey, Tim, since, you know, we talk about Muhammad Ali, okay, you know, like the women's boxing, you know, like Clarissa Shields. At one point in time, that his daughter, Muhammad Ali's daughter, Layla, you know, someone wanted to fight her. And if they had a fault, you know, so how you think?
I mean, come on. I mean, Layla had been retired for 20 years.
20 years.
They talked about it. Layla
40 years old or 38.
Layla didn't have no nothing on her side. She didn't have no advantages if she took that fight. She was a kid fighting an older mom. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. I mean, Clarissa will always be more respected because she's a 2-time Olympian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Layla didn't really have an amateur background. Layla did something. Chrissy Martin kicked it off first.
Coal-miner's daughter,
Chrissy Martin kicked it off first.
She was
And Layla took boxing to another level. Yeah,
because Chrissy Martin was she was with Don King. Did Don King sign her?
Yeah. You would be in Vegas. You would be in Vegas. Mike Tyson would be the main event.
Yeah.
And Layla, Chrissy Martin, she'll be the co-main event when everybody coming to the stadium, and she'll knock a girl out.
Yeah, but
and it'll be so vicious.
When she fought Layla,
Layla
put a hurting on her.
Let me ask you this though, Montell. If back in Layla Ali's prime and Ann Wolfe,
man, you know what? I'm gonna say something. And I respect Ann Wolfe. I said something on Facebook. Ann Wolfe unfriended me, stopped talking to me. And I didn't mean no disrespect. All I said was Ann Wolfe was knocked out before in the pros. And I said, even though she came back and revenge her loss, I said Ann Wolfe was knocked out. I said Layla knocked out the girl who beat Ann Wolfe. That's all I said.
Okay.
And Ann Wolfe cut me off.
Well, that was fair enough.
I didn't say nothing about it. I just told the truth.
That was fair enough, right?
The truth shouldn't hurt, man.
She's in her feelings.
It stings a lot.
That's all I'm saying. Layla Ali, man, didn't have a She ain't have man. Layla Ali was doing nails in a hair salon and made up her mind to start boxing.
Yeah.
And my man Yaya McClain was her manager. Ended up being her husband. He put it together, and they did beautiful things. They made a lot of money. Layla did a great job for herself. Right now, she's a huge star with her seasoning and all the stuff she's doing outside of boxing.
True.
But my man Yaya put it together. She did her thing, and you can't take nothing away from her.
Hey, Champ, I want to ask you this question. Are you training any fighters now? You know, saying your gym?
I got some young kids, man. I working with a couple of pros. They got all things that work out. The boxing game is different now, man.
True.
And I don't mean no disrespect to Chicago, but Chicago don't really have the boxing talent. You know what I'm saying? That California,
Michigan,
Vegas, Michigan, Texas, Florida. Chicago just don't have that talent. And don't get me wrong, Alonzo Ratliff, Leroy Murphy, David Diaz, Nate Jones, and Donnell Nicholson.
Yeah.
Montell, Griffin, John Collins. They was great fighters. You know what I'm saying?
What about Ernie Terrell, man?
Ernie Terrell. I know, but I know I'm forgetting some. I said a lot of Alfonso Ratliff, Jesus Chavez, Ernie Terrell. We had some guys that did their thing, man.
Yeah.
But if you really want to say, we not a fighting town.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We always have a few guys come up, make a little noise, and then when it's time to step up in competition, they lose.
Right.
That's pretty much been the story with the Chicago boxing.
Oh, yeah. Also, that you're supposed to be officiating, you know what I'm saying, the Roy Jones, exhibition fight, right?
May 13th, you just got me in trouble because you done brought it up and I can't. Oh, celebrity boxing. May 13th, celebrity boxing. Roy Jones Jr. versus the Indio champ.
Yeah,
No days off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they I saw Indio train.
Yeah,
He's,
I saw train too.
He ain't look bad.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He about 5'8", 5'7.5", 245.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What is Roy? He's
What?
5'11"? Roy like 5'11", 6
yeah, about
foot?
5'10", 5'11". Roy probably about 210, 220.
Where they gonna rumble at?
The Metaverse.
Is that in Illinois?
It's the Metaverse. That's where they fight. That's only by law, by contract. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
They fighting in the Metaverse.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
the first time ever.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
The Metaverse. They finna fight inside. I even haven't seen what it's gonna be. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be like 3D.
Okay.
That's
Maybe
gonna be cool.
we see the spit and blood. I don't know.
But it's May 13th.
May 13th in the Metaverse.
It's a metaverse.
Can
Roy
you get
Jones
us in?
Jr. and Indio champ.
That's a yeah.
Can you get us in?
I can't. I don't even know how to get in the Metaverse.
So your entourage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
We rolling with
Maybe
you.
rolling with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, man,
I don't know how to get
Chicago
them
style, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, man.
So I have one question for you, right? So I told my son, I have an 11-year-old son. I was the late bloomer, probably of the bunch here. I had my first one at 38.
Oh yeah, man.
And I had my second one at 40. Right?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Right, so I got my son, right?
You be irritated. I know you ain't got no patience. You be at home mad at the motherfucker. I can't believe I had these goddamn kids. Sit your ass down, motherfucker.
So I told him about you, right? And he was like, "Really, Dad? You gonna meet you, right?" I was like, "Yeah." And, so you asked me what question was going to be asked the whole 9 yards. So he's curious. He's into sports. He plays football, plays basketball. I asked him what he want to be. He want to be I want to play pro. What would you tell a kid, right? Who had aspirations, right? First, you got to go through the gauntlet. You got to go through high school. You got to go through college. You got to go through these things. Talk about the training that you had to do and the dedication towards it Is it to get you where you are?
But we gotta go back. How old is your kid?
He's 11.
Okay. First of all, with these kids, fathers gotta just stop living your life through your kid.
Oh my God.
First of all, so let the kid try baseball, football. Let them try. Let them find out what his click is. It might not be nothing. A lot of fathers get let down because the kids don't end up being nothing. But that's you gotta let the kid do what he want to do. If he don't love it, it'll never be right. If you love it and he like it because you love it, it'll never be right. He'll be miserable the rest of his life. He might be successful. He might make it, but he gonna be miserable the rest of his life because he's doing it for him. For his pops instead of doing it for himself. So that's the first thing. You gotta see what the kid likes, see what he want to do. You know what I'm saying?
I want you to continue, but that is the best thing I've heard someone say. I've been saying that for a long time, haven't I?
Yeah.
The kid, man, you gotta.
Long time.
Yeah.
My daughter. I was going through a divorce. I ended up getting divorced over 5. I was going through a divorce. My mother's like, look, my daughter's like, I know you love boxing. I was living in Vegas. I know you love boxing, but boxing is taking you away from us. So I came back to Chicago, you know what I'm saying? So I said, what you want to do? She like, I want to box. I'm just at the end of my career that, like, y'all might look at me and say I had a great career. But I look at this shit and say I could have did way better. So I look at boxing way different than y'all look at me.
Okay.
Well, I look at my career way different than other people look at my career. So I'm like, man, I did enough crying. I'm like, fuck that. I said, you not boxing. I said, what's your other sport you love? What's your second favorite sport? You said basketball. I said, well, you playing basketball. I moved back to Chicago, signed up, and right now she in her 5th year in pro ball. She just came back from Serbia this month, so yeah, she doing her thing.
Okay.
So the kid, you can't live your life to your kid, man.
But when you say, not to cut you off, Montell, but
what you just did, though.
I'm sorry.
No,
Go ahead. I don't want no smoke.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the other smoke. You know what I'm saying? I said, you don't want the other smoke. You know what I'm saying? You just want the smoke.
No, what I was going to ask you, though, you said the way we look at your career, what do you think that you could have did differently?
Did way better, man. I could have did way better.
Like what?
I mean, it's just so much stuff. It's just so much stuff that happened in my career that people don't know, man. I we ain't even got to get into it, but man, I just had a lot of bad breaks, bro. My record should have been way better than it is. I got robbed of 2 or 3 fights. I got stabbed in the back. It's just so much bullshit in my career from when I first started. I beat Jeremy Williams twice and they robbed me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That took a lot out of me. I went to the Olympics. I got robbed on national TV, man. My gold medal. I cut this kid eye open.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I turned pro.
Patch and shit.
I beat James Toney with 14 fights. I went on a run. I fight James Toney the second time. I beat him unanimously. I get to fight with Roy Jones. It was a huge fight. They say he was the greatest fighter ever. I went there. I gave him everything he handled. I got him so mad. He was frustrated. I got him so frustrated. Sorry, not mad. I got him so frustrated that he fouled me because I took a knee because he hit me in the back of the head.
I remember
we fought a rematch, and I was not allowed to warm up. I didn't warm up 5 minutes for that fight. Chris Bird, my main man, 1992 Olympian, heavyweight champion of the world, called me the next day and said, man, John told me, John Hunter was Roy Jones' lawyer. He said, John told me what they did to you, man, and I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So 20 years go by. I see John Hunter in Chicago on the north side. I said, what did you tell Chris Bird? He said, we fucked you. He said, we got you. He said, we rushed you in there. We did it on purpose. And he said, your manager and promoter knew about it. And when he told me that, it just broke my heart. You know what I'm saying?
Had you still been talking to that manager promoter at that time?
By that time, No, I had retired already. I had went on with my life.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's things that happen that left a bad taste in my mouth where, we didn't really have a relationship. So we was cool. We was on speaking terms. Hey, how you know what's going on?
Right.
But, the friendship, the hanging out, that was over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ended.
Well, let me say this. Because you saying that, we may look at your accomplishments different than how you look at it. Let me say this to you. There's 7.8 billion people here on Earth. Just 1% of those individuals is 78 million?
Yeah.
How many of them can they say was a world champion?
Oh.
I mean, I know.
Talk about that for a second. Anything. World champion cooking. Forget boxing. Anything world champion. I mean, you. It's one thing to be the 1%. It's one thing to be the 1% of the 1%.
Let me say this to you, and let me just say this to you, and don't take it the wrong way. Because of my father, because of Muhammad Ali, and because the skills that God blessed me with, I know how good I was. I know how good I am, and I was, and I know why I was able to do the things that I did. But I should have did more, and I could have did more. But I just had a lot of bad breaks and things that went against me. That's all.
I understand.
I just put it like that.
Hey.
I've been in the ring with Hall of Famers and they all respect me.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a fucking
no
bad
doubt.
motherfucker. I'm a bad motherfucker. I could give you a list of top fighters who I've been in the ring with a sparred and I beat their ass. And they know it.
You say you're a bad man. What Stephen A. Smith? We saying about Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, I was a bad man. I was a bad motherfucker, bro.
No, he got 2 belts. Aaron only got. Oh my bad.
I'm a national champion.
You say that, you know what I'm saying?
First
you say you're a bad motherfucker. So
Aaron Rodgers didn't win the national championship, did he? I was a national champion.
Right.
With 21 amateur fights.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who's your guy from Ukraine? He always he boxes like a
Lomachenko.
What do you think about him?
Oh, I got mad respect for him. Lomachenko is a wizard. He's
a technician.
He's a technician.
So you think he could be Devin Haney?
Right now, I think Lomachenko's time is passing him by. His last fight, he struggled a little bit. Haney he's not a big puncher.
Yeah.
But his style and skill level is so high. I think he'll be too much for Lomachenko.
Yeah. So what about my man Earl Spence?
I love Earl Spence. I want to see him and Bud fight, but it's over.
It's over.
Earl, he tried his best to stay down. I know it was killing trying to make that weight. He was going up to fight Keith Thurman. Yeah, so they would never fight.
Who you going with Keith?
Earl Spence is a monster. He's
the truth, man.
I wanted Earl Spence to fight Terrence Crawford so bad.
So who if they did fall, who you think? You know what I'm saying?
I spent 2 weeks with Terrence Crawford. Great fighter. I got mad respect for him. I spent days with Earl Spence. Derek James is my Olympic teammate. Yeah. I spent some time with Earl in Vegas and I think I was in Chicago. Earl was here in Chicago. I met him in Vegas.
Yeah.
I've been around and in New York. I've been around him a few times. Great fighter. Earl Spence, I just hate that he didn't get to fight with Crawford. The only reason I gotta take Spence is the size.
Okay.
I was in 2000. Floyd fought not 2000, 220. No, let me see. This had to be, but Floyd fought McGregor.
Yeah.
We was at the fight. We went to his strip club, and I was standing with Earl, and I was like 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And he was my size, and he's 3-4 inches taller than me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the hell you make 147?
Right, it's hard. I'm saying
this man. Come on, man. Look, if Earl Spence, I mean,
That's my man.
People, nobody beat Earl Spence, bro. Nobody.
Not no time soon.
Tommy Hearns, Ray Leonard, nobody beat.
But man, what about Hackett?
Man.
No, so what about Hackett?
He's
too big, man. He's too big. He can fight. Earl Spence can fight middleweight right now.
Yeah.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Wow. He like you, throw 5 punch combinations.
The thing about Earl Spence is Earl Spence is not a puncher. Even though he's a puncher, he's not a puncher.
What you mean by
Let
that?
me explain this to you. Most fighters are guys that hit you with one punch or combinations knock you out. Earl Spence just beats you up. he just boom. He just pounds you and just takes something out your body and weigh you down.
True.
I just don't get me wrong. If Terrence Crawford win, it's not an upset. That's how good both of them are.
Okay, right.
Whoever win, and I'm gonna say the same thing with Terrence Crawford. Whoever win that fight, they are the greatest welterweight ever. They will beat anybody else.
So what about? I know you got 2 up and comers. You know, so you got Jerron Booth and my man Virgil Ortiz Jr.
Ooh.
I mean, they gotta just shit. I mean, let's just. I mean,
they said that.
I mean, either let them step up. I mean, okay, Booth just stepped up and people really wasn't satisfied.
Yeah,
right.
Well, by Virgil Ortiz, because I saw Big Mac. You know, it's a Big Champ. You know, saying highlights of Virgil Ortiz, and you know, it's like.
Boy,
he can bang.
I respect that. I ain't not that. I'm just saying. All these guys, but nobody fighting each other.
That's what we all say.
You just named 2 guys. I just named 2 guys. They're in the same weight, and nobody fights.
Nobody fight.
I think it's about
nobody.
This is my opinion, and you've been in the game. I think what it is now is in order to make the money. Back then, you had to fight each other.
Yeah.
Now. I would assume that the money has changed a little bit as boxing's
much bigger paydays.
I can't agree with that.
Oh, okay.
Much bigger
paydays. It's called the Floyd Mayweather syndrome.
Okay. We've been talking about
the
that.
Zero. Everybody is worried about losing that zero. Everybody feel if they lose a fight, they could not be looked at as the greatest fight ever.
Wow. We just had a conversation not too long ago.
We just had that exact
We just had the same conversation.
Floyd, and people say Floyd Mayweather messed it up. He didn't mess it up. He did what he did, and people were trying to copy him.
Yeah.
He didn't mess it up. He just wanted to go out undefeated.
Right, and he did what was best for him. You know?
Right. I mean, Floyd is a businessman.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, anybody who know about boxing know what I'm saying. He a businessman. He made things go the way they should go for him.
Yeah.
And he took the best.
I can't fault him for that.
No, you can't fault because look, first of all, and I was a guy in my if I was in Floyd Mayweather's shoes. I would have did a lot of different things, like making fighters take steroid tests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I couldn't force nobody to steroid, you know. I know guys who was in my weight class, I knew they was on steroids.
Yeah.
And I fought them too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That I know it was on steroids, but I couldn't force a steroid test because I wasn't that big.
Uh-huh.
But as big as Floyd was big enough to change the rules. He made sure the game was clean.
But he made sure.
Right.
He made sure that Pacquiao got tested.
These guys, I ain't gonna say nobody's name, but Floyd knew these guys was on steroids. He made them take tests. They was clean, and then Floyd beat them. and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
We all know who they were.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
We ain't gotta say name, but you know what I'm saying. He made them take a test. He fought them clean, and he beat them. And he was smart.
Yeah. He was smart.
Very smart.
Smart guy.
And where Floyd from? Michigan.
So you said Michigan guys are smart, huh?
So, but yeah, like I said, you know, but we appreciate you.
No,
we appreciate you coming out for us today. You know what I'm saying? And it's been an honor for me. You know,
me too.
I mean, you know, honestly. No, I'm from Michigan. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right.
No.
Right. when I say I've been in presence like this, I've only been in presence of 3 individuals. Well, you're the third, 2. I have been with Thomas Hillman Hearns, right? And I've been with Michael Orr.
Okay.
Right. The only 2 people. When I was here, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be good. So my uncle is a boxing nut. So as soon as I take the picture and show it to him, he's in and shout out to him too, because has prostate cancer right now. He's going through it. He's in his 70s. Right. And I texted him. I said I was coming to meet you today, and he was like, oh, I ain't gonna say all that, but he's like, for real,
cool,
yeah.
That's
And so,
respect,
thank you. I appreciate you coming out for sure.
It's like this, bro. I'm just gonna break it down to you, man.